My mom deleted her Find My Location, and I realized why 3 hours later. I was in biology when my phone buzzed with the notification. Mom stopped sharing location with you. We'd been sharing locations for almost 3 years, and she'd never turned it off. Not even once. I texted her immediately asking if her phone was acting weird. 5 minutes passed with no response. Then 10. Mom always texted back within seconds because she worked from home and kept her phone right next to her laptop. I tried calling during passing period, and it rang twice before going to voicemail. That's when my chest started feeling tight because her phone wasn't dead. She was actively declining my calls. At lunch, I called my older brother Damien, who lived 2 hours away at college. He said he'd talked to Mom that morning around 9, and everything seemed fine. Damien told me to stop panicking and that Mom probably just needed space. But Mom had never needed space before. She was the one who insisted we all share locations after my best friend's mom got in a car accident, and nobody knew where she was for 6 hours. I couldn't focus in any of my afternoon classes because something felt so wrong in my gut. When I got home at 3:30, Mom's car wasn't in the driveway. Victor's truck was there, which was weird because he worked until 6 on Thursdays. I walked in through the garage and the house was completely silent. I called out for Mom and got nothing. Her purse was sitting on the kitchen counter next to her coffee mug that was still half full. I checked her office and her laptop was open to her work email with a message she'd been typing to a client at 10:42 this morning. The message just stopped mid-sentence like she'd gotten interrupted. The bedroom door was closed, which never happened during the day. I opened it slowly and Victor was sitting on the edge of the bed holding Mom's phone. He looked up at me with this expression I'd never seen before and said Mom had to run some errands. I asked why he had her phone and he said she forgot it. That made zero sense because Mom wouldn't even go to the mailbox without it. I asked Victor where exactly Mom went and he said she didn't tell him. His voice had this edge to it that made my skin crawl. I texted Damien that something was really wrong. Victor had Mom's phone and was acting strange and Mom's work was left open mid-sentence. Damien said he was getting in his car right now and I should go to a friend's house. I grabbed my backpack and told Victor I was going to study at the library. As I was walking out the door, I heard him making a phone call and saying she's asking questions to whoever was on the other end. I got in my car and drove to the McDonald's parking lot 3 blocks away and called the police. The operator asked me questions about whether my mom had any medical conditions or history of domestic issues. I told her Mom was perfectly healthy and Victor had never been violent, but something was definitely wrong. She said she'd send an officer to do a wellness check. I sat in that parking lot for 40 minutes trying not to throw up. Then a number I didn't recognize called me. I answered and heard Mom's voice whisper my name. She said she only had a minute and I needed to listen carefully. Mom said she'd found bank statements on Victor's computer that morning showing he'd taken out a second mortgage on our house without telling her. $75,000 6 months ago. She'd confronted him about where the money went and he told her to stay out of his business. She said she was his wife and had every right to know. Victor had grabbed her arm hard enough to leave marks and said some people were coming to collect what he owed. When she tried to leave the room, he'd taken her phone and car keys. She managed to escape when Victor went to take a shower by climbing out the kitchen window. She ran to our neighbor Patricia's house 2 streets over, and Patricia drove her to a police station downtown. She'd been there for 3 hours giving statements. The police were going to arrest Victor, but she needed me to stay away from the house because the people he owed money to might show up. Mom said Victor had gotten involved with some kind of sports betting ring and lost everything. The second mortgage was supposed to cover his debts, but he'd gambled that money away too. Now he owed over $100,000 and they'd been threatening to hurt his family if he didn't pay by tomorrow. Right as Mom finished explaining, I saw 2 police cars pull into the McDonald's parking lot. An officer walked over and asked if I was Diana. She said my mom had given them my location and they needed me to come with them. I followed them to the police station and found Mom in a small office with 2 detectives. She hugged me so tight I could barely breathe. One detective explained they'd arrested Victor 20 minutes ago at our house. They'd also found the people he owed money to because Victor gave them up immediately trying to make a deal. The detective said Victor had maxed out credit cards in Mom's name and taken out personal loans using forged documents with her signature. Mom's credit was completely destroyed and we were about to lose the house. The detectives gave us a victim advocate's card and explained the process for proving Mom didn't authorize those transactions. Victor was facing charges for fraud, forgery, and working with organized crime. His bail was set at $200,000, which he couldn't pay. 6 months later, Victor pleaded guilty to everything and got 4 years in prison. Mom's credit got fixed after we proved the fraud, and we kept the house. She still shares her location with us every single day.